Well, good morning and welcome to Lesson 41, Course in Miracles, using the Wide Edition with the dove on the cover. People ask me what is the picture on the cover that I keep holding up. It's a dove. All right, well, Lesson 41, God goes with me wherever I go. I love this lesson. This lesson strikes straight at the heart of being human. All right, so I'll get stuck into it and you'll see yourself in this lesson perfectly. Today's idea, God goes with me wherever I go. Today's idea will eventually overcome completely the sense of loneliness and abandonment which all the separated ones experience. Depression is an inevitable consequence of separation. Can you hear that? Depression, an inevitable consequence of separation. So are anxiety, worry, a deep sense of helplessness, misery, suffering, and intense fear of loss. The separated ones have invented many cures for what they believe to be the ills of the world, but the one thing they do not do is to question the reality of the problem. Yet its effects cannot be cured because it is not real. The one thing they do not do is to question the reality of the problem. All right? And the reason we don't question the reality of the problem is because we believe in what our senses tell us. We believe that this person or that situation is causing our anxiety, and therefore that's the source of my issues, or this feeling of being alone in my home and I can't go outside. That's the cause of my no. Separation. Right? It's separation is the cause of all of that. Right? But God goes with me wherever I go. That sense of being separate from God brings up very deep-rooted, what I said there, anxiety, worry, a deep sense of helplessness, misery, suffering, an intense fear of loss, right? And we see those things reflected out in the world because that's what we feel inside. That's what we imagine our world is about. The idea for today has the power to end all this foolishness forever. And foolishness it is, despite the serious and tragic forms it may take. Deep within you is everything that is perfect, ready to radiate through you and out into the whole world. It will cure all sorrow and pain and fear and loss because it will heal the mind that thought these things were real and suffered out of its allegiance to these beliefs. You can never be deprived of your perfect holiness because its source goes with you wherever you go. You can never suffer because the source of all joy goes with you wherever you go. You can never be alone because the source of all life goes with you wherever you go. Nothing can destroy your peace of mind because God goes with you wherever you go. We understand that you do not believe all this. Yeah, it's funny. Otherwise you wouldn't need a workbook. We understand that you do not believe all this. How could you, when the truth is hidden deep within under a heavy cloud of insane thoughts, dense and obscuring, yet representing all you see? Really, the external world is a reflection of the internal state of mind. Today we will make our first real attempt to get past this dark and heavy cloud and to go through it to the light beyond. There will be only one long practice period today. In the morning, as soon as you get up, if possible, sit quietly for some 3 to 5 minutes with your eyes closed. At the beginning of a practice period, repeat today's idea very slowly. Then make no effort to think of anything. Try, instead, to get a sense of turning inward, past all the idle thoughts of the world. Right, that's the first real reference in the course so far for meditation, where you turn within and try to go beyond the conscious level of thought, beyond this little thin band of participation that goes on in our cognitive kind of blah, 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 blah all day long. Past that. All right. Try instead to get a sense of turning inward, past all the idle thoughts of the world. Try to enter very deeply into your own mind, keeping it clear of any thoughts that might divert your attention. Try to enter very deeply into your own mind, keeping it clear of any thoughts that might divert your attention. From time to time, you may repeat today's idea if you find it helpful, but most of all, try to sink down and inward, away from the world and all the foolish thoughts of the world. You are trying to reach past all these things. You are trying to leave appearances and approach reality. It is quite possible to reach God. In fact, it is very easy because it is the most natural thing in the world. You might even say it is the only natural thing in the world. The way will open if you believe that it is possible. This exercise can bring very startling results even the first time it is attempted, and sooner or later it is always successful. We will go into more detail in connection with this kind of practice as we go along, but it will never fail completely, and instant success is possible. Throughout the day, use today's idea, often repeating it very slowly and preferably with eyes closed. Think of what you are saying, what the words mean. Concentrate on the holiness which they imply about you, on the unfailing companionship which is yours, on the complete protection that surrounds you. You can indeed afford to laugh at fear thoughts, remembering that God goes with you wherever you go. You know, and that's the end of the lesson. But I love how in this course a whole collaborative effort is made with particular tools, particular aspects of mind training. There's meditation, there is prayer, and there is vigilance for your own peace. There is the identity of thoughts that trouble you. There is watching, seeing how you have thought patterns and all sorts of things that are going on which need healing. All of these things work together, right? They're not put in any particular order, or so it seems. They seem to be just like put together bit by bit by bit by bit, and then you learn them again over and over and over as you go through the workbook. And that's the first one that really points to a meditative effort where you sink down and back. Right now, some people have said to me in the past when we talk about meditation and stuff that they find it helpful to go up and forwards, and it's like, well, whatever it is. It's imagine that your thoughts are just a bank of clouds and you're going through the clouds, or you can imagine it like dropping down through water and drifting back, like drifting into your mind, like sort of sinking in a swimming pool, that kind of feeling. Whatever it just seems to occur naturally to you, I find is generally the best. But like you said in there, like try to get a sense of the power and the fulfillment that comes with using the thought for today as you guide yourself to do the exercise, right? Well, that's about it, really. So lesson 42 tomorrow, God is my strength, vision is his gift. There was something else I was just going to mention about that particular one. Oh, so yeah, the for me, like, so entering into light, right? Now that experience, it just happens like that. There's a flash of light in my mind, and there's this automatic reconnection whenever I want it now, because I've been doing, it doesn't take time, but you have to practice. Right, and one of the things that people find in practice is that people like to sit with their hands like so on their knees and whatever. Just sit comfortably. It doesn't matter how you sit. There's no rules, right? This is all about the mind. Everything is mind. If you're giving value and attention to the body, you're missing the point. Just sit comfortably somewhere. For me, I even lay down, like usually at night, and my wife and I in bed will both be like, oh. Having these communicative sort of spontaneous moments sometimes, and it's kind of funny. But it's not happening here on the physical plane. It's happening somewhere else. But you have to get past the physical plane. Remember, consciousness is the realm of the ego. And when you realize that every thought you think, everything only exists in the conscious level of mind, you'll begin to get a sense that there's much more going on to your mind than just that little tiny thin band of see, hear, smell, touch, taste, and think. Because you're not really thinking. All right, well, I'll leave it at that, and then tomorrow we'll do lesson 42. So thanks to everyone who writes to me in inbox as well, and a few people with questions. I'll try to answer them if I can, but generally it's better to, as it says in that lesson, turn within. Right? Try to make a connection with your own inner teacher. That's what the whole point of this is. I am, in a sense, I'm no different to the book. I'm just something that you turn on and listen to, and the book is just something you pick up and read. But it's guiding you, and I'm guiding you to do the work that is contained within this book. We help each other to stay on track with that, to find our own inner teacher, our own inner guidance. All right. Don't make an idol out of other people and situations and things. And I should add, there are a lot of people in the world who travel the world under the guise of spiritual teachers with ACIM, charging lots of money for seminars and things like that. Just avoid all that. You don't need it. It's all very, it's no different to the evangelist bloody nonsense that goes on in the States. Right? You don't need it, and you don't need to give money. Right? Money is not involved in spiritual healing whatsoever, and anyone that tells you that it is does not live by a path of faith, and therefore they cannot teach a path of faith. All right. Love you.